Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gene's Reviews. Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels. Occasionally, I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gene's Reviews. Reviews from a regular dude. Today, we're doing one from a channel called Word List. Or World List. I think it's World List. I'll let you know in a minute. This is 11 most disturbing discoveries made by urban explorers. So be careful, all you urban explorers out there. Or maybe you want some disturbing discoveries. So let's check this out.
Hey guys, it's Chris. From alligators jumping out at Six Flags to creepy human remains, here are 11 of the most disturbing things found by urban explorers.
World List.
Number 11. Alligator attacks. Urban explorers in both New York and New Orleans have strange and disturbing tales of alligators that they found right in the middle of human civilization. If you found an alligator in the street or a sewer drain, you'd be blown away, right? At least as long as you didn't live in Florida. We all know that Florida has alligators that invade people's homes all the time, but New Orleans has a haven for gators at the Six Flags amusement park that was ravaged by Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. And you could just wander into their lair without knowing better if you're not careful. Urban explorers like photographer Seth Lawless have documented the phenomenon, showing that in places that humans once used for recreation, alligators and other wild creatures now make their hunting grounds. As if that wasn't enough, residents in New York City occasionally spot these vicious reptiles in their sewers, subway tunnels, or street gutters. But how do they get there? To be honest, it's mostly because of irresponsible pet owners. Some people buy baby alligators thinking they're cute, but after they grow to over 3 feet, the owners start to get nervous.
Just so adorable.
Sometimes they just abandon the alligator in the street, dropping them down open manhole covers or into storm drains. Those alligators could just chomp your leg off if you walk down the wrong dark alley. So be careful no matter where you go. Dangers lurk behind many corners in cities all over, and you don't want to become alligator chow. Number 10. Strange bat hybrid creature. During England's first coronavirus lockdown last year, a group of 6 friends from Urban Explorers UK claimed they discovered a bizarre half-bat, half-human creature last year on a beach in the Salt Dean area of Sussex. Jay Jones, one of the group's founding members, said that they just happened to stumble upon the strange foot-long specimen while looking around the area for interesting or strange creatures or relics. This group actively looks out for the stuff you or I might try to avoid, and occasionally they find things that science can't quite explain. I've never seen anything like it, the bewildered man told reporters. Horrifying pictures that Jones shared online showed a dead gray creature with what appeared to be inch-long fangs. The images were so disturbing that Metro staff members decided not to share them when the news outlet covered the story. Little else is known about what the animal actually was or whether authorities took the discovery seriously. Number 9. Discovery Island. There's a small 11.5-acre island in Bay Lake, Florida.
Is this the island that has all the snakes on it? I don't like snakes.
That was once home to Disney's Discovery Island, where visitors observed rare birds and other wild animals between 1974 and 1999. After operating for 25 years, Discovery Island shuttered its doors for unknown reasons, although poor attendance and high maintenance costs were likely the cause. And they relocated their animals to Disney's Animal Kingdom. Since then, the former park has sat abandoned, drawing the curiosity of urban explorers like Shane Perez, a blogger who swam through the alligator-infested waters to reach Discovery Island with some friends, and trespassed onto the site in 2009, over a decade after its closure. We were literally surrounded by what sounded like thousands of birds, he said of his first observations on the island. They found that the lights actually still worked, and then they encountered several angry vultures as well as the haunting remnants of the park that was left behind among the overgrown wildlife, including photos of employees scattered inside deserted buildings, preserved snakes inside of jars, and of course, a lot of garbage, including an empty Coke bottle. Not all of Discovery Island's unwelcome visitors found it as eerie as Perez and his pals. When authorities discovered a man camping on Discovery Island last year and ordered him to leave, He referred to the park as a tropical paradise and said he didn't know that he wasn't allowed to be there. Sounds like a typical Florida man story to me.
Yeah.
Number 8. Cremated human remains. Michigan's Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs was quick to suspend a Flint Funeral Home's operating license in 2017 after investigators discovered numerous violations, including decomposing corpses, unsanitary preparation rooms, blood-stained casket pillows, and maggots. After the state closed Swanson Funeral Home, owner O'Neill Swanson II appeared to have simply left it as is, as one urban explorer discovered when they became brave enough to enter the abandoned building. Inside, the anonymous individual reportedly found bottles of chemicals, dirty embalming instruments, and a plastic bag of what looked to be cremated human remains. The media obtained and
That's so disrespectful to the deceased and their family.
published disturbing images of the explorer's gruesome discoveries, adding to the growing list of complaints against the shuttered business. In addition to the filthy conditions found at the funeral home, Swanson was accused of selling prepaid funeral contracts without a proper license. He pled no contest to 2 felony counts of failing to escrow the prepaid funds and using some of the money for personal expenses. A judge ordered him to pay $75,000 in restitution. Number 7. Deserted mansion. While driving in the outskirts of North London one day last year, urban explorer Colin Smith spotted a spooky mansion set back behind a long, overgrown
Looks like
driveway.
from the
Curious to see
Munsters.
what was inside, he returned a few days later to look around. It was quite creepy because it was so dark and the house was so big, he later told reporters. Inside the 8-bedroom home, which dates back to the 1930s and has a servant quarters and bell system for summoning staff, Smith found a grand piano, furniture, old bottles of wine, a pair of glasses, painted portraits, silver cutlery, books, black and white photographs, and newspapers dating as far back as 1954. Video footage also shows dishes, cleaning supplies, and a clock on the wall that stopped a few minutes past 6:30. Smith determined that the house had been abandoned for around 30 years, based on sell-by dates on old cans of food in the kitchen, which also contained a fridge full of moldy food. It's unknown why the property owners deserted the once lavish home without taking all of their things, leaving behind an eerie time capsule containing the scattered remnants of the time they spent there. When asked by the media what he thought, Smith speculated, "If I had to guess, I would say that the house was perhaps sold to a property tycoon who simply didn't have the time or resources to renovate it." Number 6. Hanging but
That seems to happen a lot where they find these houses that have been abandoned years ago and they left everything there. Why would they just abandon everything like that and just disappear? I think there's something fishy there.
bones. After reportedly living in isolation for decades, a Norfolk, England farmer named Tony Martin was convicted of murder in 1999 for shooting and killing a teenage burglar who invaded his home. His charges were eventually reduced to manslaughter, and in 2003, Martin was released from prison. Wanting to evade unwanted attention and publicity, the senior citizen moved to a secret address instead of returning to his former residence. Curious to see what was inside, but allegedly unaware that the home was an infamous crime scene, YouTuber Abandoned World Explorer UK spotted the house while on vacation in 2018 and decided to go in and film the experience. Covered in overgrowth, it contained animal bones on the bathroom floor and some hanging on a string from the ceiling. There was also a classic MK1 Range Rover in one of the outbuildings and rusted farm equipment strewn throughout the property. The bones around the place made the house seem like it was something out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the explorer said, adding, "I don't think I'll be going back. I felt so intimidated and scared whilst we were there." Nobody knows how or why the bones ended up inside Martin's home or who put them there. Number 5. Memorial
That sounds like some occult stuff to me.
Mound Mausoleum. Gravedigger Clyde Booth had a dream of providing the public with a unique alternative to traditional burials. He turned his vision into reality
That
in
picture?
1992.
That picture right there is in the catacombs in Paris.
When he established Memorial Mound, an underground mausoleum that sat 8 feet below the ground in Bessemer, Alabama. The facility's visitors area contained a chapel, a computer people could use to view pictures and videos of their lost loved ones, and a marble wall where people could leave items in memory of the deceased. There was also a room dedicated to selling caskets. Behind the wall was a warehouse-like room containing metal racks for holding caskets, which was not open to the public. Coffins were stacked up 10 feet high, with the lower placements coming with a more expensive price tag. Not many of these empty slots were really ever filled, and Booth's idea wasn't as popular as he thought it would be. With less than a dozen burials in 4 years and facing financial ruin, he ultimately decided to close Memorial Mound in 1996. Relatives were able to continue visiting the mausoleum for the next few years, but the building was permanently closed in 2000. Vandals looted the site for scrap metal, leaving it in disarray, and urban explorers eventually broke in out of sheer curiosity. Pictures of the dilapidated interior surfaced in 2014, showing broken glass, embalming supplies, display caskets that were left untouched by intruders, and decaying and skeletal human remains, including at least one person left in an open casket. The sickening images finally prompted authorities to act, despite having known of the building's neglected state for some time. They removed the remains of 7 individuals and took them to the coroner's office so that their surviving family members could make long overdue final arrangements. Sadly, by then, some of the graves had been ransacked, with at least one human skull having apparently been taken as a depraved memento of someone's trespassing adventure. Number 4.
It is
Shark.
depraved.
When the Wildlife Wonderland Park in Victoria, Australia closed down in 2012 due to animal welfare and licensing concerns, it left behind a gory attraction that would ultimately draw urban explorers in droves. A preserved 13-foot-long great white shark sitting in a tank of formaldehyde. Nicknamed Rosie, the shark died in 1998 off the South Australian coast after getting caught in a tuna fishing net. Wildlife Wonderland bought the specimen, paying about $500,000 after all the costs associated with preserving her and transporting her to the property were added up. And that's when the corpse was put on display in a custom-built tank. Despite the hefty investment, the owner of Wildlife Wonderland abandoned Rosie at the site when the park shut down. Over the years, the liquid inside the tank became murky and green. And the damage became worse when images and footage of Rosie appeared online in 2018 and attracted intruders who covered the enclosure in graffiti, pried the top off, and trash, including a broken television.
Guys like this, they just gotta ruin everything.
Authorities tried their best to deter urban explorers from trespassing into the decrepit park, citing dangerous formaldehyde vapors that were escaping from the broken tank and posing a public health hazard. The property's owners also became fed up with unwanted visitors and decided that the best way to curb the problem was to get rid of Rosie. They sold the dead shark to a business called Crystal World at the urging of one of its employees, who read Rosie's story on Facebook. With the help of a shark and taxidermy expert, owner Tom Capitani directed an extensive restoration effort. It's now safe and permitted for the public to see Rosie, who's on display at Crystal World Exhibition Center near Melbourne. Have you ever encountered a taxidermied animal? What was it? Were you weirded out by it at all? Tell me about your strange experience in the comments section below.
I haven't.
And remember to subscribe to World List if you haven't already for more intense videos just like this one. Number 3.
It would depend on what it was, whether it weirded me out or not.
The deserted former home of late wrestling star Jackie Pallo last year in Manston, England, urban explorer and photographer Paul Jones snapped photos of the grand piano and other items left among the crumbling ruins. But as he later explained to the press, he immediately knew that something wasn't right. When I was walking around, I saw a door which was shut with some ropes across it, and when I tried to push it open, I could see there was a mattress up against it on the other side, Pallo recounted. I just knew there was a body in there. I was almost expecting it. I managed to push the door open as far as I could, and I saw the poor old chap. The shocked explorer speculated that perhaps the individual was homeless, and it pushed the mattress against the door to prevent people from entering the room, and then died while he was in there. Based on when Pallo's friend had last been at the property, he estimated that the body had been there for several weeks. As disturbing as the discovery is, it's also rather heartbreaking, as Pallo pointed out, stating, "This is someone's son. He may have family. He's a human being, and to die this way is really upsetting." Police did not find any signs of foul play and therefore did not consider the tragic death suspicious. Number 2. Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. This disturbing place is totally creepy and probably haunted to boot. Located in Princeton, West Virginia, the Lake Shawnee Amusement Park operated for 40 years, from 1926 to 1966. It was popular among locals from coal mining families and boasted a Ferris wheel swing ride, concession stands, dance hall, racetrack, and overnight cabins. However, while it was in business, 6 people died at the park. One girl lost her life in the early 1950s when a delivery truck backed into the swing ride while she was on it. Then a 9-year-old boy drowned in the swimming pool when his arm was sucked into the drain after his mother left him unattended. The pool was subsequently filled in to prevent any more deaths, but the site's connection with death dates back much farther. During the mid-18th century, a massacre occurred on the property amid a land dispute between 2 families. The park was purchased and briefly reopened in the late 1980s, but was quickly shut down so archaeologists could excavate the site on the suspicion of a Native American burial ground being located there.
Does sound haunted.
Uncovered the skeletal remains of 13 people, dating back to before European settlers arrived. Today, the property is a popular attraction for urban and paranormal explorers who are eager to investigate rumors of the former park being haunted. Whether or not this is true, the decaying rides and fixtures that were never dismantled and removed are certainly a creepy sight.
It'd be
Number
cool.
one, a chilling message.
It'd be cool to go there and just explore that place, I think.
Social media users recently went into a panic when images showing the interior of an abandoned hut in Lincolnshire, England went viral. Urban explorer Dan Sharkey found the conspicuous concrete structure near the back of a property. He descended a ladder into the bunker and discovered an array of bizarre graffiti, including an angry stick figure, a picture of a man bleeding from his mouth, and a strange landscape of red and black trees.
That's just
The room also contained
graffiti
2
artists.
rusting bed frames and an old blanket. Above one of the beds is a disturbing message, scrawled in all capital letters. Crawl inside it, we'll give you a hug, along with a black arrow pointing towards a hole in the bunker. The hole is really too small for a person, even a child, but was nevertheless creepy. Sharkey's discovery sparked widespread interest from social media users all over the world. While many commenters focused on the structure's disturbing contents, others were more interested in when and why the bunker was built, with some speculating it was once used by the Royal Observation Corps. One person remarked that it's a shame how people vandalize and destroy abandoned places that could be maintained and used as attractions. Thanks for watching. If you'd like...
Crawl inside, it will give you a hug. That's pretty creepy. How about a joke? The other night I couldn't sleep, so I went to this store. It said open 24 hours. When I got there, this guy was locking up. He said, "Sorry, we're closed." I said, "What do you mean you're closed? The sign says you're open 24 hours. The guy said, "Not in a row." Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag #MeanGene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.